This started with something small, a shadow in the corner of my room that didn't seem to match the space around it. I'd notice it while scrolling through my phone or reading before bed. A smudge of darkness that seemed too deep, too still, right next to my closet. Every time I turned my head to look directly at it, it was gone. Just the edge of a coat, or the way the lamp hit the wall. I figured it was nothing. My sleep schedule was messy. My eyes were tired. I wasn't eating great. I thought it was one of those things the brain fills in when the light is low and your focus is elsewhere. But over time, it changed. It began to return every night, always in the same spot. First as a soft curve in the dark, then as a more solid shape. It didn't move at first. It just sat there, taking space where nothing should have been. A vertical column of black that never reflected light. Even when both lamps in my room were on, that patch stayed darker than everything else. Then one night, it leaned. Not much, just a slight tilt, like something was shifting its weight from one foot to the other. When I blinked, it was back to stillness. But I know what I saw. It had form now. It wasn't just a patch of shadow anymore. It had weight, presence. I didn't talk about it. I didn't even write anything down. I kept trying to explain it to myself in normal ways. Maybe it was part of a recurring dream I was confusing with being awake. Maybe the shape was a leftover imprint from the screen light. Then it started waking me up. No sounds, no dreams. I just opened my eyes at exactly 3:11 a.m. for 5 nights in a row. Each time, I felt like someone had whispered too close to my ear, only there was no sound. Just that cold feeling of being watched. And the shadow would be there. Never closer, never moving, but very present. One morning, I woke up with the lamp on my desk turned off. The switch was flipped. I hadn't touched it. I always leave it on overnight. It's not a bulb that flickers or burns out. It was a clean, deliberate off, like someone had done it with full intent. I started keeping headphones in, playing white noise. I covered the closet with a towel and taped the corners. I left the bathroom light on across the hall, but I still felt the shift in air every night. I started sleeping curled up toward the wall, too afraid to face the room. One night, I set up a small motion sensor camera. I placed it on the shelf facing the corner, just for peace of mind. I didn't expect it to catch anything. When I reviewed the footage the next morning, most of it was normal. Me tossing, turning, getting up once around midnight. Then, at 3:14 a.m., the desk lamp flicked off. Exactly 7 seconds later, the shadow moved across the wall. It didn't walk. It stretched, glided. It looked like it grew taller as it moved. For half a second, the silhouette passed in front of the closet, and the sensor light on the camera went dull. Not off, just muted. Then, the video stopped recording. There was still space on the card. The battery was full. No error message. It just ended. I deleted the file without saving it. I couldn't watch it again. Since then, the shadow has been bolder. I stopped using the camera. It didn't feel like I was capturing something hidden anymore. It felt like I was inviting it to get closer. Now, when I walk past mirrors, I sometimes see something behind me that disappears the moment I turn. Not in a sharp, dramatic way, just slips out of frame, lingers in the corners of windows. Behind me in the television when it's off. In the black screen of my phone when it's locked. I started turning mirrors around. I flipped the pictures with glass fronts so they face the wall. I covered the closet with a sheet and placed a chair in front of it, like that would stop something that doesn't obey walls. 2 nights ago, I fell asleep sitting up. The lights were on. Music was playing softly on a loop. I wasn't planning to fall asleep, just needed to rest my eyes. I woke up cold. The music had stopped. Every light was off, and the chair in front of the closet had been moved to the other side of the room. The closet door was open. Not halfway, not cracked, fully open. And inside it, The darkness was no longer passive. It looked like it was shaped like a person, standing, head tilted slightly to one side, as if studying me, not blinking, not reacting, just standing, watching. The night the closet door was open changed everything. Until then, it felt like the shadow had rules, like it could only stay in the corners, like it was stuck to the edge of things. That night broke that idea. I realized it didn't need to stay still anymore. It was learning how to move in the open. The following day, I stayed out as long as I could. I wandered through stores without buying anything. I sat in my car for hours with the windows down, just listening to the world not feel strange. I avoided mirrors and glass. I didn't look at the darkened windows of parked cars. When I finally came home, it was almost midnight. The hallway light flickered once when I stepped inside. The living room lamp turned on without a problem, but the light in my bedroom was dimmer than usual. It buzzed faintly, like it was trying to hold the light back. I tried sleeping on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, facing the television screen that was unplugged. I kept my eyes open until they burned. At some point, I must have fallen asleep. I woke up to pressure on my chest. Not pain, not weight exactly, just pressure. Like something was kneeling there, still, heavy, silent. I couldn't move right away. My arms were stiff. My jaw felt tight. I blinked and saw nothing in the room, but I could feel it. I could feel it watching me, from somewhere just outside my line of vision. When I sat up, the pressure stopped, and the air felt too light, like something had just exited the room. I didn't sleep for the next 2 nights. On the 3rd night, I was so tired that I felt dizzy. I left the lights on, every single one. I didn't care how high the electricity bill would be. I laid down in the middle of the bed, phone in my hand, music playing low through a small speaker. I set up a second phone to record the room just in case. I woke up in the dark. Every light had been turned off, not burned out. The switches had all been flipped. Even the hallway light, even the one in the kitchen, which I hadn't touched. I checked the camera footage. The screen was black at first, then filled with static, then black again. Timestamps showed nothing wrong, no file corruption, but the footage was blank from exactly 3:07 to 3:36. When the video returned, I was sleeping in a different position than when the recording started. I don't move much when I sleep. The next day, I noticed something odd about the walls. There were fingerprints, thin, long streaks near the corners, almost oily. I cleaned them off with a towel. A few hours later, they were back. I don't let anyone into my apartment. I stopped working. I stopped answering calls. I didn't want to explain what was happening. I couldn't even understand it myself. I started moving through my apartment, like someone visiting a house they had never been in. Cautious, quiet, careful not to look too long at the wrong thing. Then the whispering started. Not out loud, not in the room, in my mind. Like thoughts that didn't belong to me. Sometimes just a word. Sometimes nothing more than a feeling. It would slip in, soft and fast, and then it would be gone. But every night, it got clearer. At first, I thought it was just my thoughts taking strange shapes. Stress can do that. Exhaustion can do that. But this felt separate, like something was thinking near me. One night, I stood in the hallway and heard my own name in my head. Not my voice, not my tone, but exact. Like someone repeating it inside my thoughts from a few steps behind. When I turned around, the shadow was there. Full shape now, standing at the end of the hallway. Still, like always, no eyes, no face. Just a black space shaped like a person, pulling the light toward it, bending the hallway slightly like a picture warping near a heat source. I didn't run. I didn't move. I just watched. It stepped forward once. Only one step. Then it faded back into the dark. I locked myself in the bathroom and stayed there until the sun came through the window. That was last week. I haven't seen it since, not clearly, but I still feel it. I hear the light clicks of switches being turned off when I close my eyes. I see shapes where there should be none. I get that weight on my chest sometimes, not during sleep anymore, but while sitting still. Today, I found something new. On my phone was a photo I didn't take. It was of me, lying in bed, from a low angle near the closet. There's nothing visible in the image except me, but the bottom edge of the photo is darker than the rest, and if you look closely, it curves inward, like a hand was holding the phone from a part of the room where light doesn't belong. I deleted it. 5 minutes later, it returned. Same photo, same shadows, same curve. My room feels quiet right now, but I know it's not empty. I'm starting to think it never was.